Hi Moon and Gemini, how you doing? My name is Jackie and I'm going to be giving you a reading with regards to the upcoming full lunar eclipse that is happening in the sign of Taurus, fully supported by about 1,000,000 planets in Scorpio. There's a lot going on in Scorpio, they're opposite each other, so it's a big deal because that's where the nodes are. This is why it's an eclipse. So where the nodes are has, very important ramifications for the world globally and also for us personally. So eclipses can be very powerful. So let's have a look at what this eclipse has in store for people with their moon in Gemini. Moon in Gemini. Thank you. Can we get some cards for people with moon in Gemini, please? What's going on for moon in Gemini? What would it benefit moon in Gemini to know now? What's going on for moon in Gemini? Benefit moon in Gemini people to know right now. Okay. So, moon in Gemini. Look at you. A lot of people here, moon in Gemini. So, the way I see it is that at the moment, I feel like at the moment you're really focused on who you are in society. You're really focused on bettering yourself. You're really focused on the coin. You're thinking about money. You're thinking about work. You're thinking about your stability. You're thinking about your resources, your physical resources, your house, your job, your car, your money, physical resources, things we can touch, things we can feel, things that are very ruled by the earth. You know what I mean? We've got 2 earth cards here. We've got another 2 here. Very kind of work, career, life, your own life oriented reading here. So I get the feeling that, you've come to a place as well where it's like you are really beginning to take yourself seriously. You know what you want. You want to do well in life. You have a bit of a plan for yourself. You intend on being successful. You have to work for it and you're willing to put that in. But your intention is to find your place in society and find where you fit in, excuse me. And then I think as well, you've been going through this period of, emotional growth. So obviously when we go through something like emotional growth, it can be a very difficult time, but I feel like you've gone through that. I feel like that's past for you and you're at a point now where you're coming out the other end of the cycle and you're like, you know what? I feel like I can do this. I feel more balanced. I feel more capable. And like the thing is, if you're watching this and you're going, are you joking? I still feel like I'm losing my mind. Well, the fact is peace is coming. You are going through an emotional upheaval. Like peace is definitely coming to you. But for a lot of you, I already feel that you're there. You know what I mean? You've recognized that maybe in order to, mature and create the type of life you want, you needed some time alone. So you distance yourself from dating, you distance yourself from distractions. You began to recognize that romantic interactions can be very distracting and if they're not genuine, then there's very little point of them. So I feel like that's where you're at the moment. You're just like removing yourself from people that you consider a distraction, removing yourself from anything that you consider a distraction. And you are at this point, really, really hyper focused on yourself, which is great. It's exactly how we should be. And the King of Cups as well here is to say, you're right in the decisions you made. So removing yourself from the distractions is a very, very good idea. But not just that, like you really are at a point now where you're, ready to take on what's going on around you, which is great, good for you. So moon in Gemini as well. I do just want to say that all of, this eclipse is happening for you. It's like I feel the changes that it's bringing in for you is you just deciding that, what you want counts. Like that's what it is. It's just what I want counts. That's the feeling I'm getting. You know what I mean? I have a plan. I'm going to work on it. You're at this point as well where you're like, no one's going to do it for me. Nobody can do it for me. Like if I need to do this, I need to do this myself. You know what I mean? If I want it done, I need to do it myself. And it's a great energy because you're right. You know what I mean? We do need to do these things ourselves. If we have empires we want to build, if we want to be successful, then we have to work on them. Like that's all there is. That's to it. That's all there is to it. I do get the feeling that, this is a very strong energy of somebody who's like hoping to kind of lead or hoping to guide or hoping to be someone, maybe in the spotlight. Like, the Hierophant can speak of positions in society where we have influence over others. You know what I mean? It's a positive aspect. Like, these are very positive cards, and you are looking at opportunities maybe to lead and guide people. It might just be to lead and guide yourself. Like, you don't have to be looking for YouTube fame or whatever, but you could be, you know what I mean? You could just be looking for something to, you know, launch yourself into what it is you want to do. But I do get the feeling for you that, you know, you're just at the beginning. Like, you have these enormous plans, but you are just at the beginning. So then one of the main pieces of advice that the tarot is giving you right now is to stay on track with your plans. And maybe if you had made the decision in the past to remove yourself from distractions, remove yourself from dating, remove yourself from, you know, anything that kind of gets in the way of you becoming who you intend on being, I would advise you to keep that up, because I can see that you're only just starting to build your empire here. You know what I mean? It's just getting started. And like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But we do need to remember, you know, or take responsibility really for our lifestyle, because there's just something here as well about like our lifestyle matching what we want. You know what I mean? Like, if we want to create this empire, then we need to be in a very focused mind state. We need to be looking after ourselves. We have, and the thing is, we have very independent energies on the table. Like, at no point, you know, apart from the Hierophant, at no point all of these other people are on their own, including, and we have the Hermit, and this energy is very independent as well. The Hermit is all about spending time on your own. The Knight of Pentacles is about creating a plan, you know, to really start building towards what you want. I will just say, Moon and Gemini, like that, you know, there's a lot of pentacle energy here, which is the earth, money, physical resources energy. And it's a great energy, but it is a slow building energy. Like, that's not a bad thing, because, you know, in reality, the slower we build, the more sustainable something is. So, you know, I feel like you have these great plans and you feel like you're in a good place to get on with the plan now, and you're right. And now it's time to like do the work. You know what I mean? So I would advise you to not get back into distractions, maybe continue taking a break from dating, you know, because this is an energy of like, these are amazing cards. And these cards speak of like making a plan in order to create the abundance that you want in your life. You know, there's a message here about spending time alone, really focusing on what it is you want. And so this is a card about like focusing on what you actually want. And this is a card about creating the plan to make it. You know what I mean? So like and again, this is a knight and not a king. So this is a person reaching for their, you know, reaching for their success, reaching for their plan. Like, you are divinely guided. Don't think you're not. You know what I mean? You're very supported as well. I will say that maybe at this moment in time, you're a bit like, Jesus, I feel a bit abandoned. You know, I feel like you know, there's just an energy here of having to do everything yourself. So I'm like, so, you know, maybe you feel a bit like, you know, where's your support? But the fact of the matter is, you are supported. You know, spending time in meditation could be very good for you if you're into that kind of thing, but it could be very good for you because there are guides here. There are guides around you that you could meet. There are guardian angels around you that you can meet. And the thing is, we can do meditations and we can meet these beings, and it's so lovely to meet them. Like, it's just so lovely to meet your guides. But the point, what I'm trying to say is, you are extremely supported. Don't think you're not. You really, really are. And you definitely have what it takes to create this very abundant and very solid future for yourself. Like, that's the thing. If it's a slow build, you know, we create slowly over time, but you do need to get started, because I will say, with all the earth energy here, like, you definitely have a good idea, but with the earth energy, I feel you might be feeling a little bit stuck. But I believe, like, number one, there's no point in blaming yourself if you do feel like you're a little bit stuck. But the other point is that you had an emotional upheaval to go through. You know what I mean? You had an emotional evolution to integrate, and that's tiring and that's difficult. So, you know, maybe you needed this time to yourself. Maybe you needed some downtime, but now is the time to start making the plan. You know what I mean? You have a good idea. You know what it is. Like, you've taken time out to hone your idea, and, you know, now is the time to put it into practice. You know, these are very nice cards. I will say, like, it's a very positive reading for someone who's looking at where they fit in life, because you do fit in somewhere. You do have, like, whatever your plan is as well, it's a good plan. This is what your guides are saying to you. You know what I mean? It's a good plan, but it is time to get moving on it. Like, there's no panic if you're still reeling from this emotional upheaval, like there's no panic, you know what I mean? I don't believe opportunities pass us by. I believe if we miss an opportunity, it comes back around, like it's not a big deal. And anyway, I don't know that I believe we create our own opportunities, you know what I mean? So like, and the thing is, whatever this is you want to create for you as well, like it has a lot of freedom connected to it, you know what I mean? An awful lot of freedom. You know, I think that like the grind of maybe the 9 to 5 like isn't for you, you know what I mean? And Moon and Gemini, it wouldn't be. The Moon rules are like emotional wellness, and Geminis like to flit around the place. They're social butterflies, they're active, they're busy, you know what I mean? They don't like the humdrum life. So, you know, what you're trying to create is something that will give you freedom. And what your highest self is saying to you, because that's who we call in, and we called in the power of the moon, like, and this eclipse is all supporting this. Eclipses are, you know, they exist in order to shake our foundations. And the thing is, I feel for you, like you're already willing to do the work. You've put the work in. You don't really need your foundation shook. You're just being pushed now. You know, you're being advised softly and kind of shoved lightly in the direction that you want to go. Like the thing is, none of this is painful or difficult. These are all places you want to go, you know what I mean? So good for you. Yeah. So you have what it takes, Gemini. Yeah, but change is necessary. I do want to say that, you know, it is time to get on the plan. Get on the plan for your happiness. Yeah. Okay, Moon and Gemini, that's your reading. I hope that resonated, and I hope that you enjoyed hearing it. I am available for personal readings. I do video chat readings over WhatsApp and Skype. I don't do video recording readings. I much prefer to speak to people, and we can do it over camera so you can see the cards. I also am available for in-person readings in London and in Ireland. So please feel free to get in touch. My details are down below. If you did like the reading, give me a like. Tell me why in the comment section. And thank you very much. I wish you an amazing day, Moon and Gemini. And peace and love.